This interview is sponsored by Carroll Daniel Construction.
We'd like to thank Carroll Daniel Construction for sponsoring this interview. Hello, welcome back to GSBAtv. I am Alicia Hernandez, and today I have the pleasure to interview Dr. Curtis Jones. Dr. Jones, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much for letting me be with you.
So Dr. Jones, could you please expand on your background and where you went to school, or just anything you'd like to share with us?
Sure. I'm a graduate of Griffin High School, class of 73. I graduated United States Military Academy at West Point in 77. I have a master's degree from Albany State College here in Georgia. I got a specialist degree in education from Lincoln Memorial, as well as a doctorate from Nova Southeastern University.
Now you've won 2 awards. Not only are you the Georgia Superintendent of the Year, you are also the National Superintendent of the Year, correct?
I am.
So what do you think has made you successful and to win these awards, to be able to win these awards?
I was in the military for 20 years, and I now say that I've been practicing leadership for 46. And I believe that the key to anyone being successful is the people they have around them and the work that they do. I was very fortunate to have people help me be successful. I was very fortunate to have people align their work with mine. In this particular case, I have a great school board that was able to say, we want to have a great governance team, and that governance team is the superintendent and us. And they said, we want someone to lead us. And so at that point, they were looking for some leadership, and I think I was able to provide that, and now we're working hand in hand together. I also was allowed to hire a great cabinet that helped me put together the vision that we're now pursuing. And so now we have one strategic plan. That plan is what we all focus on from the school level all the way through the board, and we've been able to focus on that for now 4 years. I tend to think that the success for us has been consistency. Principals have now been in their positions at least 4 years. In most cases, I've been a superintendent for 4. The board has been pretty stable, and so we have a process where we learn together and we're growing together. We find out what doesn't work so we don't have to repeat past mistakes.
I was actually able to see the video last year of your students nominating you for this award, and it was very refreshing just to see so much talent in the schools in your district that you have.
We have 22 elementary schools, 6 middle and 6 high. That particular school was Vineville Academy, where they were, Vineville was one, as well as Springdale Elementary. Both great schools. One's a magnet, the other one is a traditional zone school, but they have great leadership, great teachers where they're passionate about the work that they do, and so I was very fortunate. And my good fortune is I have such a good team working for me. I'm able to get out to schools fairly consistently, so the students kind of know who I am. Now, one time they said, "Are you the president?" And I said, "No, I'm not president," but they knew it was something like that.
Oh, wow, that is very heartwarming to hear. So are there a few tips you would like to offer to other superintendents to help them be successful?
I think you have to keep your Board of Education informed. You have to let them know what's going on. One tip that I do is I send out a weekly update to my board members almost every week. And truthfully, it's not just my comments, but my senior cabinet has an attachment that goes to it. So anything that the board wants to know is in there and it's updated. I also think you have to be consistent with what it is you believe is important. We have a set of values, and we talk about those values probably more than most people do, but I just tend to believe that what you have on the inside is more important than what you see on the outside.
Right.
And we've been able to share that across our district.
So just keeping the open communication is...
I think open communication and being true to yourself and helping people align their work with the district's work.
Great. So you being in public education, how do you think that impacted you?
I think for me, and it also goes back to my military days, we have to be happy, and I believe a great workplace has great co-workers, and that becomes part of those relationships. So part of what we say is that you have to practice open communication with parents, with students, with the community. We believe you have to be competent, and so we try to walk what it is we say we want other people to do.
Right. So are there any last comments that you'd like to share with our audience?
I'm very honored and privileged to be the Georgia Superintendent of the Year, very honored to be the National Superintendent of the Year. I've said this before and I'll say it again, we have great superintendents in our state, and I think the longer the superintendents are able to stay in the job, the better they will get. And so my hope is that our state will continue to grow and develop. We're leading the nation in a lot of areas, and I just want to see us continue to work together. we're not in competition with one another. We're on the same team.
So, Dr. Jones, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you. Again, thank you, Carroll Daniel Construction, for sponsoring this interview.